Hello, 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 hello. Another hello for you beautiful people out there in YouTube land. Welcome, 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 welcome to Omega Live with JJ, Woman Without Borders. It is so good to have you joining me this afternoon. It's a beautiful Tuesday afternoon. Yes, indeed it is. And we had a long weekend on this side of the globe, didn't we? Yeah. In Jamaica, we celebrated Labor Day yesterday, Monday, May 25th, right? Yeah, normally it's the 23rd, okay, but it fell on the weekend. And when that happens, our constitution says we can have it on Monday, the following Monday. So we celebrated Labor Day, National Labor Day was yesterday, May 25th. And not only that, also, but in the United States of America, yesterday was also Memorial Day. Yes, it was Memorial Day commemorating, the lives lost of all the U.S. military personnel, right? And so it was an holiday also in the US. So US and Jamaica celebrated holidays yesterday. And today is Tuesday and everybody is back. Who is supposed to be back at work is back at work. And who's supposed to be staying home is staying home, right? Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah. Okay, so guys, I have a full pack of information to give you today. Yes, a lot has happened over the weekend. Um, uh, Omega Live also took an hiatus, right? So I was here on Friday, and today the first. I'm back since Friday. So yes, thank you very much for the welcome back. Absolutely, yes, yes, yes. God, it is so hot though, guys. I mean, I'm saying it is not yet summer, and it is so hot. What is going to happen when summer finally arrives? We still have approximately 3.5 weeks before summer, right? And it is, I'm telling you, it is scorching hot as the daylight. The temperature is sky high. My goodness gracious. So if you see me fanning, don't mind me. I'm just hot. Absolutely. Yeah, but I have a lot of information to share with you guys today because I was not here since Friday. A lot has happened over the weekend that I have not. You might have heard some of it, but again, I give you the news, Lord, guys, in context, right? Because a lot of information, or should I say, misinformation, is given to you, as you rightfully know, and sometimes there is no information at all. And as I heard Denzel Washington says, misinformation is better than no information. I agree with him to some extent because there's always a bit of truth in every grain, a grain of truth in every lie, right? So I do agree with that. But at the same time, you don't want misinformation because you can make the wrong decisions with misinformation, right? So I'm here to give you the correct information. Accurate information is what I give. You know that, right? Absolutely, absolutely. So guys, remember, share the link with your friends, right? Invite them to come and watch the program because knowledge is nothing if kept to yourself. You know that, right? We are students of knowledge. I'm a student of knowledge and I'm sharing with you what I know. And so you, as fellow students of knowledge, you also must share what you know with your friends and family, right? So share the link right now, have some other persons come and watch the program, okay? And remember to subscribe, guys, and hit the notification bell. So whenever I am on live, you will be notified that I am on and then you can come and join me, right? Absolutely. Welcome to all of you out there who are watching me right now. And thank you for my subscribers, guys. The subscription number is going up. Yes, thank you for the subscription. Keep the subscription coming, okay? Subscribe, subscribe, subscribe. Invite your friends to subscribe. Absolutely. Yes, thank you so much. Absolutely. So, guys, by now, if it's your first time, by the way, a special welcome to you if it's your first time. Thank you for joining me, okay? The program is just an hour or a little under sometimes, right? Absolutely. And what I do is I give you the news and then I give you my commentary on it, what I call my 2 cents on it, right? Absolutely. And I'm also on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Omega News JA. So you can also go over there and share, like, and comment. Okay, absolutely. So without further ado, let me give you the news. Here goes. And I know, guys, oh, by the way, that the news was a bit long this morning that I sent out, and I apologize because so much happened over the weekend. I just could not cut it down, and there was so much I did not tell you either because I didn't have the time to give you all that information. Right? That's what happens when you're away for a long time, right? And so I had to give you all that information. But you normally, it's within a 5 minute span, right? My news is usually within 5 minutes. Yeah. So it was a little over 6 minutes today, and I apologize for that. Okay, guys. All right, so here goes. Jamaica now has 556 confirmed cases of the coronavirus disease COVID 19, according to press releases issued by the Ministry of Health and Wellness. Of the six new cases over the last 48 hours, three are crew members of the Adventure of the Seas cruise ship, all from the parish of St. Anne. This brings to 65 the number of imported confirmed cases of the COVID 19. And of course, because I have my big data fans out there, right? My big data fans, they want the numbers. So I have to give you the numbers, right? So here goes. Yes. And guys, in this one, I'm going to give you my commentary while I'm giving you the information because this one is just too much. So, the Ministry of Health have been their new spiel, their new take on things, their new spin, their angle is to give us recoveries. They don't want to give us the numbers of increased cases. No, all they want to do is give us recoveries. So according to them now, we have the highest number of recoveries, which is 27 in a 24-hour period, right? So our recoveries is not now up to 238. And yes, we are happy. Thank God that people are recovering. We already knew that it's not a death sentence, so we expect that. But don't try to hide or pull the wool over our eyes and try to hide numbers on us. Okay. So yes, we have 27 new recoveries, right? We had 11 and then we had 27. So the total number was, because the last time we spoke it was 200, right? So in all we have now 38 new cases in all over the 48 hour to 72-hour period, right? And so now we're up to 238 recoveries. Excellent. We love that. We now have 213 contacts of confirmed cases, still 27 local transmissions, and still 235 associated with Alarico Call Center in St. Catherine. Right now, we have a total of 330 females and 226 males of the total 556. So in the last 24 hours, they did 357 new samples. Before that, they did 290 new samples. So the total samples to date is 10,570. Of that number, as you know, 556 tested positive and 9,985 are negative. We still have 29 samples that are pending. And it's very important to watch those pending samples. Okay, we had 444 persons in government quarantine. Now the number is up to 828 persons who are in government quarantine, and we know that it as a result of the crew members on the Adventure of the Seas, right, at Falmouth Pier. Absolutely. Then we had 18 persons who were hospitalized, right? Now the number has gone up to 21, right? So three more persons have been admitted to the hospital. One of them is critically ill. There are no moderately ill persons at this time, and we have 325 persons who are in isolation. Now, of the six cases, because it was 550 the last time we met, right? Now it's six. So, of the six cases, we have a 25-year-old female from Kingston and St. Andrew who is a contact of a confirmed case. We have a 22-year-old male from St. Anne who is under investigation. Now, remember, I said to you that we also have three who are um, crew members of the Adventure of the Seas, right? Of these three, one is a female who is 29-year-old. The other two, one are males, obviously, right? One is 30 years old, one is 55, and they're all from the parish of St. Anne. Um, okay, now the other three, one is a contact of confirmed case from St. Catherine, which is basically a contact of the Alarico, yeah? All right, so not me giving this information. Oh, and 16 are under investigation. Now, according to, right, the Ministry of Health, they said as of 5 p.m. yesterday, we had 630 in government quarantine. We have 12 in government isolation, one hospitalized, and 384 home quarantine, right? That is the Ministry of Health figures. All right. So that means, based on their figures, guys, 12 persons, 12 persons from the adventure of the seas, 12 crew members tested positive for COVID 19. 384, right, tested negative for COVID 19 and are now at home being self quarantined, being monitored. I get to that story in a second. Right. So from this, just from this information that we have here, guys, we are finding a discrepancy with the numbers, right? But before I comment on that discrepancy of the numbers, let me go to news number two. So, according to the Minister with our portfolio in the Ministry of National Security, the Honorable Matthew Samuda, 1,024 of the 1,044 Jamaicans aboard the Adventure of the Seas. Listen to the numbers, guys, because these people don't understand, the importance of numbers. It seems, and they throw numbers out at us all the time, and don't understand that some of us pay attention. Yeah. So, anyways, the minister says of the 1,044 Jamaicans, right? 1,024, you hear the numbers? That are aboard the Adventure of the Seas who wish to be landed in Jamaica have done so. What do you understand from that, guys? Don't you understand from that, like I do, that there are 20 crew members still on the Adventure of the Seas who have failed with the vessel because they did not want to return to Jamaica? You got that right? That's what I got. Okay. So, based on this information, only 1,024 crew members on the Adventure of the Seas are on Jamaican soil as we speak. Okay. The minister said at present, he said 9 crew members have tested positive for COVID 19, right? And they are in isolation. He was giving this report at the same time that the Minister of Health was giving their report. The Minister of Health says there are 12, he says there are 9. So I'm going to say, I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt and say that he did not get the memo, right? Of the 3 um, confirmed cases. So the 9 plus the 3 would be 12, right? Okay, so it is actually 12, according to the Ministry of Health. We're going with their report. Okay, so he says, while 384, so you got that number right, while 384 persons have been sent to home quarantine following their negative results. Persons who are allowed to quarantine at home, they have consented to have their locations geofenced using smart technology through the Jam COVID 19 app and to do a video check multiple times per day while in quarantine. I have nothing to say about that. They want to have their house, their premises geofenced. That's on them, right? Absolutely. They wanted to come, and that was part of the deal. Okay. According to the minister, the Jamaica Constabulary Force, the JCF, they are the ones who are administering this. Yeah. Meanwhile, even as the Adventure of the Seas departed the Falmouth Pier, the Jamaican government welcomed more Jamaicans from the Norwegian cruise line, which docked at the Falmouth Pier yesterday. Now, interestingly, I also read an article that said that the Carnival Glory docked at the Falmouth Pier yesterday. Nevertheless, I have not heard anything about the Carnival Glory, which, as far as I understand it, would have arrived before the Norwegian cruise lines. So, technically, there would be now 2 ships at the Falmouth Pier, right? And let me continue based on what I'm about to say. So, according to Dr. Christopher Tufton, Minister of Health, on his Twitter account yesterday, he tweeted, as one vessel leaves, um, another pulls in to our shores, right? He says, as one vessel leaves, another pulls into our shores. I'm quoting him, on his tweeting on Twitter. Okay. He said, welcome to all Jamaicans aboard the Norwegian we look forward to processing seamlessly, unquote. Yeah? According to information that has been released, the Norwegian cruise line reportedly has 174 Jamaican crew members aboard. Okay, so if we do the math based on what we have heard, right? Excuse me, we now have over 400 Jamaicans who are supposed to be at the Falmouth Pier being processed as we speak, right? So, my question is okay, so let me give you my 2 cents now, guys, on this. Okay. First of all, my first question is did we get some more rooms? If so, from whom? Because based on what we've already been told, and remember, guys, we have Alarico and contacts in isolation and in quarantine still. Because I'm watching the numbers, in terms of the numbers who have been released. And while we're happy for the numbers that are released, and we love to see those big numbers, right? 24, 27, 20, 11, whatever. The number still doesn't add up to that much, wherein there are empty spaces, right? So we got 800 plus 250. We got 250 first, plus 400 plus 400. That's 4 and 4, 8. That's 1,050 rooms plus jewels. That's what we have for these persons to be isolated or quarantined, right? Mhm. So my question, first of all, is: did we get more rooms, and from whom? Where we would like to know, where are you quarantining the Norwegian cruise line crew members and the Carnival crew members, right? That's question number one. Number two, we would like to get some accurate information as to the number of persons who actually come off these ships. We can't be throwing numbers at you can't be throwing numbers at us inadvertently, and arbitrarily like that, and expect that we're just going to grab it up and swallow it. I'm tired of telling you, and you've got to understand. Gone are the days when Jamaicans were gullible to your numbers and to your information, with the internet being what it is, and because you are going to try to get us to be digital, part of the price of being digital is that there's information out there that we can acquire, right? Yes, we can obtain information without you. And so we would like, when information is disseminated by you, that it has to be accurate. It should be accurate information. And each person seems to have a different story, guys. And I give you an example of what I'm talking about here. So you heard how I said I read it to you, and this is what I know. This is in print. This is not me making up. Is what I read. You understand? I'm giving back to you. The minister, Matthew Samuda, he is the one who said 1,024 Jamaicans. Now, I remember hearing, right, in Parliament, guys, it is good to watch Parliament. The House, I'm telling you, when they have Parliament in session, guys, I implore you, please watch these programs. It is good to watch this program, because I'm telling you, and there are, even if you don't have internet, they are on the television station, so you can watch, right, Parliament. It is good to watch, guys, because not only do you get, because even though the camera is rolling, over time, as you would notice in reality shows, persons become oblivious to a camera, and they just show you their true colors, and you get to see people's personality shining through when they're in Parliament, guys. I promise you, it is not only entertaining, it is informative. Yeah, you need to watch it. So I watch Parliament. I confess, I never used to, because to be honest with you, I never had the time. But with COVID-19, I'm gonna tell you, COVID-19 has done a whole lot of good. Yes, it has. And with COVID-19 giving us the opportunity to be home, one of the things that I do, of course, is watch Parliament. Yes. And I remember clearly, guys, last week, Friday in Parliament, that the Minister of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade, the Honorable Kamina Johnson Smith, said that there were 1,056 persons. That was her numbers, 1,056. All right. Now, Mr. Samuda says 1,044 minus 20 on 1,024 is who landed here. Then we heard, I just quoted to you just now, you understand, the Ministry of Health says 1,027 um, um, persons were processed. 1,027. So the Ministry of Health, they sampled, according to the Ministry of Health, they have sampled from the adventure of the seas 1,027. So there are three unaccounted for persons on Minister Samuda's list. Yeah, and there are a few more on Minister Johnson Smith's list. So what is going on here, really? Who has the facts? Who's telling the truth? Huh? We don't like misinformation, we like accurate information. And when they come out with these things, we would like them to come out with the truth, right? And when they don't, it causes us to wonder what is going on here, really, what is happening. So that is my question. Also, I mean, which number? I mean, can the real numbers stand up? Let us know what the true numbers are. Mhm. And could you let us know exactly, I mean, where are these persons going to go who are being tested? And give us some more information concerning the other person, because like I said, the numbers don't add up in terms of the number of persons who have gone home, right? And you don't have to give us detail. We don't want details of their private lives. We just want to have for the big data people, statistics in terms of which parishes are they, and accurate information, please, because Anova is disputing that one that you've attributed to them. Okay, according to the news, guys, one person, not in this tree, previous news, one person is from the parish of Hanover. So now, according to that statistic, it would mean that all 14 parishes now would have had confirmed cases of the COVID-19. And I said, no, 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 do not spoil our record. We are still COVID-19 free. We have no case. This person who you are, attributing to us does not come from Hanover. A person might visit, but don't live in Hanover. So therefore, we don't claim that person at all. So please ensure when you're giving us information, please try to make it accurate, please, because some of us do pay attention. Thank you. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Guys, I tell you, never a dull moment with these people. Never a dull moment. I know, I'm telling you, I am telling you, I am. I, for one reason or the other, right? I've never voted. But I was really looking forward to voting this year. I'm telling you the truth. I was looking forward to voting. But at this point in time, if an election don't come, then trust me, I mean, I would not be one of those persons to be like, yeah, because at this point, I don't know who to vote for. I'm being honest with you guys. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, it's like, caught between the devil and the deep blue sea. So sad, so sad. Yeah, it's just not. So speaking of sad, I gotta give you some sad news. Speaking of sad, so residents of St. Elizabeth have been left shocked and devastated by news of the grisly discovery of the body of a popular religious leader at his home in Top Hill District in Junction in the parish on Sunday. The deceased has been identified as 40-year-old Patrick Brown, a pastor at the Piper's Corner New Testament Church of God in the parish. The clergyman's body, which had chop wounds, was found in a state of decomposition, the police reported. Okay, reports are that Pastor Brown was last seen alive last week, Wednesday, that is May 20th, right? And residents who became concerned went to his house on Sunday over this weekend, Labor Day weekend, to look for him. On their arrival, Pastor Brown's decomposed body was seen at about 10 a.m. The police were alerted and the body was removed to a morgue pending a post-mortem examination. Several social media users responded to the news with shock, with the deceased being described as having been a mentor and friend of many. Mm? Does your killer really know who you were? Our pastor, mentor, friend, family, son of the soil? Time will tell. Rest in peace, Pastor Patrick Brown, wrote one Facebook user. Another one said, "This is unbelievable. How can people be so hard and callous? What could he have done that you took his life away and no one to tell the tales? Oh my God, rest in peace, my brother. I will always remember how you sang at my mother's funeral and tomb building. You are surely missed." Excuse me. Another individual said, when you hear Reverend Patrick Brown, draw those all time songs. Trust me, the voice and the songs, they bring melody to your soul. You'll be surely missed. Meanwhile, the Central Bay Police are probing the tragic development. Right? Earlier on this month, just at the beginning of the month of May, a clergyman was hospitalized, nursing gunshot wounds, which he sustained from a stray bullet at a fast food restaurant in Montego Bay, St. James, where he was a patron on the afternoon of Friday, May 1st. According to reports, the shooting incident was triggered by a dispute between a security guard and a customer who refused to comply with the social distance protocol at a business establishment near the eatery at Westgate Shopping Center. An altercation ensued between the two men, during which the security guard reportedly brought his partner into play. The customer reportedly left the scene, but later returned with a shotgun and opened fire, handgun, and opened fire at the guard, who managed to escape unhurt. But one of the bullets hit the pastor, who was at the fast food outlet. The injured man of the cloth was rushed to a hospital where he underwent an emergency surgery, during which the bullet was reportedly successfully removed from his body. The St. police are still investigating this incident. Okay. Uh, I'm not going to spend much time on this, guys, but I'm telling you, another thing, and I'm not pointing fingers and I'm not judging, okay? That is not my job. The Lord God Almighty is our judge. He's the one who judges. But guys, you know, it is sad. One of the things that I have as an I'm making an observation, one thing that I've observed is that COVID-19 has really, quote unquote, humbled some pastors. You know, unfortunately, many of them have been exposed, right? Uh, and it's very sad. Okay, it's very sad. It's very sad when you hear stories like these about clergymen and women, and it's mostly men, but I mean, women are not, immune to it, right? Um, but by virtue of the fact that most persons, and not most, but some persons don't even believe in female ministers, right? You'll find you hardly hear much about the female ministers, and you only hear mostly about the male ministers, right? But we are all ministers. All of us are ministers before in the sight of God, right? But there are no male or female where God is concerned. God, for people to use, He doesn't care about your gender. We are the ones who are so caught up in what gender a person is. But when it comes to God, that doesn't matter to Him. Whether you're male or female, He's looking for someone who He can use to do His work, and that's what He does, right? Um, but it's always a sad. It is always sad when anyone dies. Period. Right. But it's also very very sad when a minister, right, who is serving one who is actually serving the community dies. Again, we see outward appearance, only God tries the heart. We don't know the heart of man, and we don't know circumstances surrounding things that happen, right? And we know nothing happens in a vacuum. Everything happens for a reason when it happens, right? Yeah. And so it is sad that this has happened to these ministers, and our thoughts and our prayers goes out to the family of these two men and these pastors, right? And basically, we will keep them in our prayers, and we pray, guys. We have to pray. We have to pray for these persons. We have to pray for our leaders. We have to pray for our pastors, our ministers, clergy. We have to pray for them, because guess what? We're all human beings. We're all fallible, right? Every single one of us, we make mistakes. None of us are perfect. We are all human beings who err, right? The such a err is human. If we don't err, we would not be in this world as human beings, right? But as long as we're in this world as a human being, we are, each of every one of us is prone to err, to make mistakes. Of course, the key is always, guys, to own up to your mistake. Accountability is very important, and to not make that mistake twice, right? And say once bitten, twice shy. That is the key. The part of human growth and development, personal development involves, right, that when things happen, right, as they will, you learn from that experience, and then you grow, right? We're supposed to become better persons, better versions of ourselves. Every single day, we should be a better version. Today, I'm a better version of who I was yesterday, right? Because at the end of the day, when I go into my bed at night and I start to reflect and I meditate on the day, I look at where I erred and I look at where my faults were, and I said, Lord, help me that tomorrow I will do better. I will not do this. You understand? Because that's what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to look at ourselves in the self introspection, right? And when we look at ourselves, we should see our faults and our flaws and try to work on them, right? And try to be perfect. That is the point. You understand? And so while we are not there, we should strive to be there, right? And sometimes it means that we do things and it is not pleasing to God Almighty. And remember, He is our judge. He is, we have, I tell people all the time, I said, I have an audience of one. It is not so much what you think about me, but what God thinks about me that actually counts. That's what I look forward for. You understand? Because I know that if I am concerned about what He thinks about me, and if I do what I'm supposed to do, and then guess what? As a byproduct, you too will benefit from the better me. You understand? That is the point, right? Absolutely. And so many times, guys, and let me tell you guys, as I'm here on this point, I understand many of you are going through some serious things, including myself. Guys, if I was to tell you sometimes the things that I go through, I know you'd cry long eye water for me. You understand? And just say, really? Yes. And then, but you see me, and when you see me, I am jovial and I'm really happy. You understand? Because why? Because I know whom I believe in. You understand? My relationship with God is so solid that I trust that He will always make a way for me. You understand? And He always does make a way for me. So in the midst of my challenges, you understand, then I can actually say, Lord, I trust you that you are going to see me through. And you'll be surprised how many times, guys, that He has done miracles. He has worked miracles in my life. And I know I can say that confidently when I say to you that what He has done for me, He'll do the same for you, because He is no respecter of persons. We are all